All the ridiculous conditions. That is so ugly. Alright. Else if the mEffect params dot intro params dot start time is greater than or equal to 0 and the end time is greater than or equal to 0. What do we actually initialize them to? Start time and end time are -1s. And then we're basically doing if the effect params dot intro params dot start time. If the current time, so if playtime is greater than or equal to the start time and playtime is less than or equal to the end time, then we are in the start phase. And we should also get the percent in here. So why don't we get a... We'll just kind of cheese this up here. I'm just going to have a pointer to the effect params. We're going to set that equal to effect params.m lifecycle, lifetime params. Well, the lifecycle params is what we need. So if we're in the start phase, it's going to be the start intro params. And our percent in phase is going to be, we'll just lock it to 1 here. So the percent in phase is going to equal we are going to basically divide just going to be percent minus start percent divided by the end percent minus the start percent. Should get us how far we are in the phase. Otherwise, the percent in phase is going to equal the playtime minus the start time divided by the end time minus the start time. Which means we also need another check here, which is going to say that effect parameters start percent does not equal the end percent. And we're blocking all these things out into scope things because we might move them. So this is going to be the start time does not equal the end time. And that's to prevent a divide by 0 issue. So now we need to copy paste the hell out of this thing and do it for the the end phase stuff. So it's going to be the outro params. This is where copy-paste errors could be extremely awful. So, the next thing that we need is the life cycle thing. So we're going to need to copy-paste this one more time. And we're going to be using the lifetime params. Gotta love copy pasting the hell out of everything. It's just a great way to live your life. It's just, yeah. And if none of that is true, then the effect pointer we just set to lifetime params, and we set percent in phase to percent, which is always going to be, yeah. If end is greater than 0 and end is less than start, no, that's totally wrong. It needs to be start is less than end. Start is less than or equal to end. So yeah, percent if end equals start, percent equals 0. Otherwise, percent is that. Otherwise, the percent equals 1, and our lifetime params are going to be that. So we should probably just set percent to 1 at the start here, and then just do the if checks. That way we can get rid of this if else. And then all we have to do here is call our update for life cycle, pass in percent in phase, and our effect pointer. Just dereference it. So we have all this complicated bullshit check stuff and figuring out where the hell everything is. Just make sure we're actually initializing our stuff. So percent in phase is going to start at 1. Probably just start at 0. Well, we should just set it to percent to start with, and then we should be fine. Is there a get end time here? Why is this getting angry at me? End time is capitalized wrong. Alright. So call to update all of our variables for our specific life cycle segment. So the question here is going to be, what does actually updating these things mean? So we should have a couple things here. Basically, it should be, we should have f vector, we should have color, we should have our float alpha, we should have our float scale. It's not a float, it's one of these. So get actor transform, We should do trans, like set scale 3D with the scale, and then parent set actor transform. And we have to figure out what exactly setting the color alpha and scale mean. Like, that's something we're going to have to figure out. Anyway, I need to take a very short break, and I'll be back. Should be just a minute. Because one of the issues is setting color and alpha for the object is not just, it's probably not straightforward, right? Like, we don't know it's actually being drawn for our effect because it could be anything. It could be recursive. So this is just going to work for basic things. So we're going to assume that, at least for now, we're just going to support flipbooks. So we have to actually figure out how the hell to do that. How we'll set the color. So let's see if we can. Like, a paper flipbook component is. We actually need to go to the H file for it, I think. So the paper flipbook component is a UMesh component. So there is an F linear color sprite color, vertex color to apply to the frames. So we might be able to use that. Let's see what the F linear color actually has on it. F linear color has a RGB on it, so I think we're good to go. Yeah, we can just set the F linear color on the paper flipbook. Hell, that was easy. I thought that was going to be much more of a pain in the ass. It's like they tried to make things easy to use, you know? Kudos to Paper2D for exposing that nicely for us. So, we need to actually get the flipbook component though. So let's see, is it scene component? Or is it really just on the actor with Unreal? Let's call find component. So what we're going to do here is just have a uprop, which is going to be the upaper flipbook component. And we'll fetch this inside of the on play, the begin play. So it's find component by class. It's a templatized function, so we can just set mFlipbook to it. So we're just going to say like if mFlipbook does not equal null pointer, then we are going to F linear color actually just gonna use a color right here, so we're just gonna say like mFlipbook how do we actually say this? Linear color is this sprite color. It is protected though. How do we change you? Well, there it is. Set sprite color. Pointer to incomplete types not allowed. Well, we can fix that. We'll just include it. Alright, so that should do that. So set color and alpha. It's not going to work for a mesh component or something like that, I don't think. But we can always do whatever to fix that later. But we do need to actually do our calculations here real quick. So we have our params. So let's take a look. Our color params. So if params dot, let's see, we've got our color interpolation type. If it's a linear curve, the question is, can we do something clever here? Like, if we do an exponential curve and we just multiply the... Can we just multiply the percent by itself? Because it's going to be less than 0, so any percent multiplied by itself is going to become exponentially smaller, like 0.5 times 0.5 is 0.25. So what we could do is do something like 1 minus percent to invert it, multiply that by itself, and then do 1 minus percent again, and that'll allow it to go from one to the other. Or we just multiply it. Yeah, we'll just do, yeah, if... Yeah, we'll just do float, color, interpolation, percent equals percent, and if it doesn't equal linear, then we just multiply it by itself. Same thing for the alpha percent. And same thing for scale. And then I think we can just call mathutils and do a lerp between them with that, and we'll be good to go for all of our things. I think I've got lerp float lock. Yeah, lerp float lock is what we want to do. So start and end. So we're gonna do basically color dot a equals lerp float lock. It's gonna be like params dot start alpha, params dot end alpha, end alpha alpha. It's just end alpha. All right. And that I just confirm it real quick. It is a percent. Alright, so good. So it's just alpha interpolation percent. So it's just like this. So it's start color dot x y z. This will be the R, G, and B components. And scale is just going to be another lerp float lock with our scale interpolation percent with our end scale and start scale. What's this angry about? Called update a various. No suitable conversion from const f vector to thing. Okay, so we need to do like, yeah, scale.x. Stupid IntelliSense popping up and taking over my keyboard. So that should lerp those values properly. And we may also want to have like a boolean here for like use. Actually lerp these things, you know. So why don't we just segregate these things off here. Is there a constructor for this that I can use? Let's take a look. IntelliSense isn't going to find it, but the internet will. It's RGBA. Alright. So I'll set it to that to start with. Let's actually throw a bool in here for these things, like bool lerp alpha or mod alpha, mod color, and mod scale. And let's set them to something down here. So interesting, we might, I guess we'll just go off of it, let it do what it does. I'm thinking of if there's an intro or an outro on these things. They could change the scale of the object. But whatever, if you're doing something crazy, just with your effect, then you're just going to one-off it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so that should actually implement all that garbage. So we should have our component doing what it should, which is lerping all the values as we set them. And of course nothing's using it yet, so we'll have to make something actually use our new component, which will change our color and all those sorts of things. So let's go ahead and make something that takes one of these things. It's not object utils, that's not what we want. It's going to be our entity utils. And that's where we've been throwing all this stuff. So we're going to create a simple animated effect. So it's going to be like, let's just make it create parameterized animated effect. Let's give it a duration. And then we should also give it a fully qualified thing here. Let's see. We should be giving it an effect parameter structure. Alright, and this was actually just throwing a kill component on this thing to kill it when it was finished playing. And the simple animated effect was just like it'll play it once and then it'll kill itself. So the parameterized one, we will probably just do the same thing. Call to create a simple parameterized effect. Animated effect. And we'll probably end up cleaning up a whole bunch of this stuff regardless. Just copy pasting this crap probably isn't the best idea, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that we don't want, but it's okay for now. We'll see what we want later and then refactor it in there. What we want to do here is we want to create a new component. I want to create this is Dashkin simple effect controller component.h. This is going to be effect controller. Let's see, what are we doing with this effect controller? We are setting the params, so it's just going to be like set effect params. So we should be able to, we'll have to modify the kill on anim finish blueprint. Type must be uClass, uStruct, or uEnum. It just doesn't know what it is. Can I just put struct here and have it not hate me? Or do I have to actually include the header file? Unrecognized type const. So it's probably that syntax. No, it's getting upset with me. So let's see, pound include Dashkin simple effect controller component.h. Let's see, what is this missing? It's got a semicolon at the end of it. Yeah, that would cause a compiler error. So let's fix that. That's ridiculous. Scale is undefined. We don't need no scale. We'll set that later. So we're gonna have to set the duration inside of the blueprint component for kill on item finished. So we should do that when we call play or play with duration. Maybe we should just set it right here. If duration is greater than 0. Alright, so now what duration greater than 0? That what are we defaulting it to? -1? Okay. If duration is greater than 0, these should actually be flipped then. And we should be doing flip get duration, get total duration. Yeah. We should be calling actor set start time or set end time to, oh, I guess our current time. Guess we actually have to get the ending time here specifically, so we're gonna have to use the time utils again to get that. Actually, actor play should already be called, so we should be able to just do actor get start time plus anim duration. All right. And we should be able to create some parameters, slap them on something, and play it, and start having some fun with this. So that's what we got going on right now with the B button. So we're gonna pop open our player blueprint here, go to this create effect here. Let's see, create parameterized. So we're gonna call create parameterized animated effect. Let's make a barrel explosion sort of thing. Duration, let's set it to something big like 10 seconds. Params, we should actually like, can we make a local variable or something else that we can use for this? Let's see, is there like local f dash, yeah, we can't. Yeah, and always turn off this context sensitive crap here. It's wrong, like almost all the time. And it will hide things from you that actually exist. It is the most awful thing I've ever seen. So let's see, we want like a local variable, but I don't think we can actually get one, so maybe we should just add a variable here and make it of type effect param. What is it called? Dashkin effect params. We can't make a ustruct variable type? Do I need to do something special in order to be able to make this thing? I probably have to actually make it a blueprint type or something like that. Let's see if I should be able to grab the effect interpolation variable then. Effect interpolation type. Yeah, okay, so yeah, it's because I have it wrong. Well then. I wish you could have a little bit more flexibility with those local parameters inside of blueprints, as opposed to having to make them like actual objects, you know, variables attached to the object. But small potatoes, it's not really a big deal. Oh man, it's kind of a slow Sunday for me. I'm just kind of at a steady state of lower energy. It seems just kind of I'm more relaxed, but not really rushing anything. It's not bad. Probably be playing more games later today. I kind of want to talk to Adam, see what he's doing. We're supposed to be basically finishing our milestone today or tomorrow, and then we'll start a whole bunch of planning stuff for the next phase of our project. And we'll be basically like kind of how our project is going is prototype, first playable, alpha, beta, gold, and then whatever we're doing after that. Which I think the plan is very much to do as much as we can and continue work on the game after we, you know, quote unquote ship the game. And that would be, you know, not only improvements to the game itself, I believe, but new content and stuff like that. So let's do effect params. Let's call this, yeah, there's the effect parameters, so I had to actually do that. So we're gonna have a get here and then promote to variable. Whoops. I need to break this apart, like split to struct pin. Okay, so we can actually do this sort of stuff. Split to struct pin. Oh, Jesus Christ. So, oh my god. Wow. That is awful to deal with. Look at this. If I wanted to, can I just, like, make a new pin? Okay, good. Thank God. I was like, I am not going to be able to deal with this crap. Alright, so we're going to be calling get on these effect params. Pass it in here. We need a position, so let's grab a randomized position here. Let's see, max and min should be like 5,000 and then like 8,000 for this. So let's see, what should we actually set all of our things to? Can we just not set? We can't actually set this thing, can we? Like, what? Can we not assign? Like, what? Alright, wait a damn minute. Like, how come I can't assign a... Just like make a note here that's like assign start percent or something. Like, do I have to make a damn function for all this crap? Like, these are all... Alright, it's blueprint read only. Okay, that's gonna be... We want blueprint read write. It's like, there's... I have to be doing something wrong. Alright, well, let's compile this and save it and exit and then recompile our stuff. So yeah, if anybody has any other questions about the project or C++ or Unreal or whatever, feel free to ask and I'll see if I can answer anything while I'm messing around with stuff, or just want my opinion on something. We're just kind of hanging out here doing work, nothing too insane. I know yesterday somebody wanted a rundown of like, well, how do you make a basic game engine and stuff like that. So yeah, I gave them like a 20-minute rundown of all that, which is always nice to help people out who have legitimate questions. Because getting into the game industry and knowing like if you want to actually do anything with games can be a real pain, because you know, like, what parent like is like, oh yeah, Jimmy, you should be a game developer, and that's a great lot in life. A lot of people are like, games, get off the damn computer, that damn video right in your brain. So you don't always get a whole heck of a lot of support, and of course, like, I don't think I at least in my experience, I didn't see any, programming stuff in high school or anything like that, so nobody really knows it. It's not a common skill as far as my experience went. Of course, my experience now is completely biased because everybody I know is an engineer or whatever. Because, well, that's just who I hang out with. So let's see, can I actually set this? Like, set... default, set Durex, set jump grace. What is this crap? I mean, there's got to be something here. Editable. This variable is publicly editable on instances of this blueprint. Expose on spawn. Category, default, replication, default values. Okay, here we go. I can just edit all this shit here. That's fine with me then. So I can just edit all this stuff here. Alright, so for the intro, I want start percent to be 0, and I want start end percent to be like 0.25. And I want to mod the color. I want to go from no red to, I want to go from blue to full color. Mod alpha, I want to go from 0 to 1. Mod scale, I want to go from 0 scale to, let's see, like 3 scale. So, and during our normal thing, it should go from 0.25 to let's see, what was intro? Intro was to 0.25. We go from 0.25 to 0.75. We are going to go from nothing with our color. Our alpha should stay as 1, and our scale should go from, what do we say, 3? So it's just gonna stick at 3. And our outro is going to go from 0.75 to 1. And we're going to go from full color to red. And our scale is going to go from 3 to 10. Oh, come on, I'm trying to replace existing output. No, I don't want to replace the existing output. I want to... sometimes these reroute nodes are just fucking annoying because you cannot... Like, the direction that it hooks into something actually changes what it does. So, like, I have to move this crap over here in order to actually hook it in, and then I can move this back. It's just like, give me a frickin' break. Like, that's atrocious. So let's see if this does anything. Yeah, it crashes our game. New object is called with invalid class. Blah must be a child. So create component is being called. It's being called with actor. What? I'll understand why the previous one. New object called with new object with a null pointer class object. The scene component and child is simple effect controller. New object called check is child class. New object called with a null pointer class object. New object called with invalid class. This must be a child of this. Oh, is it that the use scene component is... No, why do we have a use scene component here? As opposed to a U actor component. Does this need to be changed to a U actor component? Is that what's going on? Okay, that makes sense. So I'm doing things wrong here. So we need attach to component. And what does component attach to component? You have to actually call